In 2015, a modern European country stood on the edge of financial collapse. Banks shut their doors. People lined up at ATMs all night. Pensions were frozen, and the nation that once gave the world democracy, philosophy, even money itself, Greece was suddenly negotiating for survival. This wasn't ancient history. It happened inside the Eurozone using one of the world's most stable currencies. Yet Greece was on the brink, like an empire in its final days. So how did it come to this? How could a country sharing its currency with Germany and France, backed by global institutions, end up begging for rescue after rescue? When Greece joined the euro in 2001, cheap credit poured in. Interest rates fell, borrowing boomed, and markets were euphoric. Wages rose. Highways and airports appeared, cranes filled the skyline. But beneath the surface lay waste and corruption. A bureaucracy too large, taxes too weak, and spending too wild. It looked like prosperity, but it was built on debt. Then came the 2008 global financial crisis. Investors looked closer, and Greece's books didn't add up. Deficits were far higher than reported. Confidence vanished overnight. Interest rates spiked, and by 2010, Greece was shut out of global markets. The EU and EMF stepped in with a 110 billion euro bailout, but it came at a cost: brutal austerity. Wage cuts, tax hikes, pension reforms, slash spending. The goal was to restore discipline. The result? Unemployment at 27%, youth unemployment over 60%, and a lost generation. And the debt, it didn't shrink, it grew. When your economy collapses, debt to GDP gets worse no matter how much you repay. By 2015, Greeks had enough. They voted no to more austerity, only for their government to sign an even harsher deal days later. Why? Because leaving the euro would mean chaos. From that point on, Greece's economic sovereignty was gone. Budgets, taxes, and spending all required approval from three institutions: the European Commission, the European Central Bank, and the IMF, known as the Troika. No armies, no invasion, just financial occupation. The Troika decided what could be spent, what had to be cut, and how fast debts were repaid. Ordinary people paid the price. Pensions slashed, hospitals short on supplies, small businesses closing. But this story wasn't new. Debt has long been a tool of control. In the 19th century, the Ottoman Empire and Egypt both defaulted and lost financial independence to European creditors. On paper, they remained sovereign, but real power belonged to the lenders. Greece faced the same fate. Today, its debt still exceeds 160% of GDP. The economy has stabilized, but at a lower baseline. The cost of survival was a lost decade, and this matters because the same pattern repeats worldwide. Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Argentina, all caught in the same cycle. Easy credit in good times, crisis when confidence fades, and dependence on outsiders when the money's gone. Even rich nations aren't safe. Italy's debt is among the highest in Europe. Japan's exceeds 250% of GDP. The US has crossed $34 trillion. Big economies can delay the reckoning, but not escape it. The lesson of Greece is simple. The crisis wasn't about numbers, it was about control. If you can't print your own currency or manage your credit, you're not truly free. Debt feels harmless when times are good, until trust disappears and creditors take over. The same truth applies to individuals. Debt narrows freedom, limits choice, and ties your future to someone else's terms. Greece didn't fall to an army. No walls were breached, but it was still a surrender of sovereignty, independence, and choice. And it happened inside one of the most advanced regions on Earth. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And when a modern nation collapses like an ancient empire, we see how fragile financial freedom really is. If this gave you a new way to see the world, hit subscribe. History has the answers, and I'll show you where to look.